Hi, everybody. Good morning. We are back again with another edition of Zenith, and it's always a pleasure to have with us Colonel Alice Best, looking fresh and fit, fresh and cheerful after a short holiday he had in the mountains of Himachal. He is back with us, and we are going to take a look at Bangladesh. Bad news never seems to end in Bangladesh. Just when we thought that things were settling down and headed towards elections next year, we had this news of violence from Gopalganj. To tell our viewers, Gopalganj is an Awami League stronghold, home base for Sheikh Hasina. Here, the National Citizens Party, the students launched a political party, wanted to have a rally there as part of their nationwide program. This was opposed by the Awami League, which then soon dragged into violence, where casualties reported from both sides. In fact, some reports even suggest that about 100 odd people have been killed in street violence over a period of 2 days. Mm, Many of the killed have been the Hindu minority, which forms about 20% of Gopalganj's population. Before we proceed with Colonel Best, I'd like to request our viewers to do like and share our channel. We are trying our best to popularize this channel and extend our reach. With that, we have Kalbis, your thoughts on the Gopalganj violence. What do you think ignited the whole thing?
Gopalganj violence was kind of a very natural fallout. As you mentioned, this NCP, that Nationalist Citizen Party of Nahid Islam. Nahid Islam is the same chap who was instrumental in students' protest in ousting Sheikh Hasina on 5th of August last year, that is 2024. So this chap has got now political ambitions. The caretaker government under Mohammad Yunus has announced that elections in Bangladesh would take place most probably by end of 2025 or maybe even April 2026. So rightfully, this guy Naid Islam has stepped down from the post of Information and Broadcasting Minister of the interim government, and he, along with a number of students, they marched into Gopalganj. Now, Gopalganj is a place which is the stronghold of Awami League and the resting place of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the founder of Awami League, that is the mausoleum, also is there. So, looking at the precedents like these very ruffian and street rioters from the NCP, uh, people had an apprehension that this crowd is coming over to Gopalganj to desecrate the resting place of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So, likewise, there are a number of student organizations who are very active politically as well as they've got a lot of street power. So, your Awami League primarily has also got a number of student wing as well as the people. They are very loyal to Awami League. And there are others also who feel that they should maintain the culture and the symbolism of the freedom struggle of Bangladesh. So they clashed with these NCP students. And police, unfortunately, is biased towards the students because the interim government is controlling them. Primarily, the police is totally ineffective. And law and order has taken a back seat since the time Sheikh Hasina has been ousted from Bangladesh. So, this unfortunate event happened. But amongst the student leaders and other uh, people creating mayhem, there is an element from probably Jamaat-e Islami or other radicalized organizations who, in the bargain, uh, carry out this kind of ethnic killing. And there were certain amount of killings which happened. Uh, One of the Hindu leader was also killed and dragged along the streets of Gopalganj. So that was something which even the Taliban does not do. So there seems to be a lot of hatred, and there've been here. I must say that Muhammad Yunus, his uh, advisors and people supporting him are largely very successful, because this kind of killings and this kind of violence against the minorities, that includes the Hindus, Christians, Buddhists, creates some kind of reaction from India. And that is what this person is trying to do right now. Because the moment you react, uh, then there are a lot of other connotations which we can discuss later on, Rajiv.
In fact, following the violence in Gopalganj, the Jamaat Islami, they held a massive rally in Dhaka, once again calling for the Islamization of the whole country. In fact, they are taking this country down a very narrow sectarian path, which will lead to more violence. Well, Bangladesh has been a vibrant country, vibrant economy, with a vibrant Bengali culture. They believed in the they believed in the culture that was set out by icons like Nazrul and, of course, Rabindranath Tagore. But now Bangladesh seems to be turning its back on its vibrant past and is following the past path of the jihadis. In fact, one can even say that the ISIS mentality seems to have crept in the way they are attacking the minorities there. Uh, there has been reports of some ISI officials visiting Bangladesh. There has been reports of China trying to foment a China, Pakistan, Bangladesh axis. As a strategic observer of this part of the subcontinent, what do you think? Do you see a new front emerging, something like the SARC, minus India, say China, Pakistan, Bangladesh?
Yes, they had a meeting very recently, wherein China, Pakistan, I think in Hunan or Hubei province, they had a meeting where China, Pakistan, and Bangladesh representatives met there. But the moment that meeting was over and people came back to Bangladesh, they said that any forum is not possible without India. And it is a fact. Actually speaking, Bangladesh was totally, and is totally dependent on India. No other country can be as helpful and as good to Bangladesh in their trade and in their economy and other factors like vicinity. We share approximately 4,000 kilometers of international border with Bangladesh. So any forum without India, whether it is China or Pakistan, they will not be able to help Bangladesh. So that is one thing true. But earlier part of your question, wherein you said that ISI is there and Islamization is taking place. So this was always there. As a matter of fact, uh, uh, I'll give you certain statistics. Like in 1901, that is previous century, the demography had 33% minorities, primarily Hindus. And by the time the independence was granted to India and Pakistan in 1947, it was almost 23%. And when Bangladesh got liberated, the minorities fell to 13.5. And today, through a steady decline, it is only 7.9%. So it's very difficult for the minorities to live in conditions where there is a majority of Islam, and worst if it is radical Islam. So this is a pattern, because way back in Afghanistan also, uh, a sizable amount of Hindus, Sikhs, and Buddhists were staying. Today there are zero. Probably in 70s or mid century, in 20th century, we had around 2,80,000 Hindus staying there in Afghanistan, and sizable amount of Sikh population. but they've been wiped out. The Bamiyan Buddha was the last symbolic thing which was demolished by the Taliban in, say, 2001. So what they do is they go about systematically demolishing everything which represents your identity, your culture, your past, and they start afresh. For example, as you quoted Rabindranath Tagore, his house has been desecrated and bulldozed. Then Satyajit Ray, his ancestral house was there. It has been bulldozed. They have destroyed the huge statue of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Thankfully, they have made some museum of the atrocities of the Pakistan army, atrocities in liberation of Bangladesh war. So that keeps reminding their future generations that such and such thing has happened. You mentioned Jamaat-e-Islami. Jamaat-e-Islami, interestingly, is a very radical organization. And these were the guys who opposed the liberation of Bangladesh from Pakistan. As a matter of fact, they were helping the Pakistani troops. They were giving intelligence, human int to Pakistani troops about the liberators and the warriors who were fighting Mukti Jodhas. And they were also supplying women, uh, primarily Hindus, to Pakistani army in their camps who were violated, raped, and all kind of atrocities were being done. So, liberation of Bangladesh took place under very, very tense situation. Almost 30 lakh people were massacred. It was a systematic genocide, I'll call it, and almost 500,000 women were raped. That is why, and there was a lot of pressure from West Pakistan into Bangladesh, wherein they were trying to impose Urdu language. Bengalis love their Bengali language and their culture. Now, the tussle is always there. In Bangladesh, there is a tussle. As you said, that they want to Islamicize, and they also want to retain their culture. So there are two opposing groups which keep fighting. I'll give you a slightly longish, but I would like to even inform the audience that it's almost comical. Their history of coup, people may not be knowing, but if you see Bangladesh as an entity, is a very funny entity. The liberation war was tough. Then suddenly, what happened that Sheikh Mujibur Rahman came out as a tall leader. He was not very pro-India, but circumstances made him so, and he got it liberated. Got Bangladesh liberated because he had majority in the 1970 elections, and people loved him. People supported him. Bonga Bandhu. Uh, there was passion. There was Bangladeshi people are very passionate people about their culture and other things. So there was a mass hysteria, frenzy. Bonga Bandhu came up. The euphoria lasted only a few years, like 1971, December, it got liberated. And by 15th of August 1975, there was a military coup. And incidentally, Bangladesh is such a place where the coups are done by junior officers. JCOs, NCOs. It's very funny. What kind of a country, what kind of an army they have? I don't know. We are from the professional army and we can't even think of such things. So, but a thing happened that Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was assassinated, his entire family, except for the two daughters, that includes Sheikh Hasina, they survived. Now, see, 15th of August 1975, Sheikh Mujib assassinated. Who comes in? Mustafa comes in. Mustafa lasts for just few months. In 3rd of November, Mustafa removed and Musharraf comes in. None other than Brigadier Musharraf. who was an awarded a gallantry award winner,
Freedom fighter.
and
He has been
they
a
call
freedom
it,
fighter. Mm.
yeah, he was a freedom fighter, and they call it equivalent to our Veer Chakra. They call it Biruttom,
Mm.
Biruttom.
Mm.
So he was an awarded guy. How long does this guy last, Brigadier Musharraf? four
Khaled Musharraf.
days.
4 days.
Yeah, 4 days. So 3rd to 7th of November, there is a character known as Ziaur Rahman. Now, Musharraf was pro Mujib. Ziaur Rahman now comes in, who is anti Mujib. This pro Mujib, anti
But
Mujib,
Zia
right
has
now it is
also
in.
been. He also claims to be a freedom fighter. He has been. He's also been a freedom fighter. Not.
He
But
was a
he.
freedom
But
fighter.
he was more of an Islamist actually.
Yeah. Now, there is a,
There's a
that's what
dichotomy
I'm
here.
trying to tell you. There's a dichotomy. But Musharraf was a gentleman and a friend of Ziaur Rahman. So he kept Ziaur Rahman under house arrest. He did not execute him. But Ziaur Rahman, on the other hand, was very stern, and he got Musharraf killed.
Mm.
So he was more of a hardliner. Then from there onwards, like 7th of November 1975, this caretaker business has started. What you are seeing right now as a caretaker in Bangladesh, now you see Muhammad Yunus is just a caretaker. So that caretaker business started way back in 7th of November 1975. Now Ziaur Rahman gradually started removing all signs of uh, Sheikh Mujib, and he formed your BNP, Bangladesh Nationalist Party. He formed a student wing of that particular party, but he was hated,
Mm.
very badly hated figure in Bangladesh. There were 21 assassination attempts on
Yeah.
General Ziaur Rahman.
Mm.
21. And finally, some young army officers, again,
Mm.
some young army officers succeeded in 1981, probably in May 1981. And that is when he had gone to Chittagong circuit house he was staying. So six of his bodyguards and Ziaur Rahman was relieved of his life. So in between, he was very ruthless. The number of coup attempts were going on in Bangladesh, number of them. So in 1977 to 79 period, there were a number of coups in which, in one of the coup, 11 Air Force officers were executed after court martial, and almost 2,500 army men were also executed in that failed coup attempt. But finally, the young officers of the army, they got General Zia or Rahman.
Removed. Mm.
Now
Removed.
again, a caretaker government comes in, some kind of uh, some kind of a chief justice or some kind of a person was made to sit there. But then there was another general lurking in the background, and he was Irshad.
Mm.
Now Irshad was very methodical, and he had a very longish period of military rule on Bangladesh. And he again removed all legacy of Sheikh Mujib and other things. But finally, like there were a number of coups which happened during his tenure as well. And he, under pressure, he had to conduct elections, and Awami League won. One very important thing about all these coups, there is a comical thing which happened in Bangladesh. The viewers will be very happy to know that there is a division, nine infantry division, which is located in Dhaka. Whosoever they support remains in power, and if they go against it, is thrown out.
Mm.
So now you will see that this has got a connotation as of date also, like whether Muhammad Yunus stays or not. Waqaruzzaman, they could not, the present army chief, they could not throw him away because 9 infantry Dev GOC is supporting Waqaruzzaman. So something very funny happened in 1996. There was a COS known as Naseem, Lieutenant General Naseem. So uh, he ordered troops from Bogra, Jessore, Maimansinghpur, all these troops to converge into Dhaka and carry out a coup. But 9 Dev GOC was loyal to the president. He was a caretaker president. So what he did, he removed all boats and ferries from River Jamna. What happens? Brahmaputra enters Bangladesh and it becomes Jamna. So the troops were not able to cross over from Jessore and Bogra and they could not enter Dhaka. He placed some blockade of infantry troops and tanks so that Maimansinghpur troops also could not come. Now, there was a division in Komila, that is on the east. So, GOC of the east, Komila division, he was again loyal to the president. So, he stopped GOC of 24 division from Chittagong, sending his troops to Dhaka by placing one infantry battalion and one squadron of tank on the Chittagong Dhaka road. So this country is having regular coups after coups, caretaker government. It's funny. Only time, the golden period which we can call for Bangladesh was when Sheikh Hasina was ruling. She is a moderate. She never let the jihadi element or radical Islam to come up. Uh, she was pro India, she was pro trade, she was pro economy. She brought it up to a very reasonably good position. Bangladesh was counted amongst very good economies like Vietnam and Southeast Asia. And as a matter of fact, the GDP growth rate was even better than India at one time. So they were very proud. But unfortunately, on 5th of August 2024, Sheikh Hasina was ousted. Now, all this schmozzle and this disturbances are happening. Anti-India rhetoric is at the highest. Radical Islam is taking over. ISI elements have come in as an advisor. Chinese influence is increasing. Americans are already there. So it is calling for a lot of civil unrest, which is not good for India and Indians security of Indian state, Rajiv.
Uh, it is indeed very sad that the stability of Bangladesh is failing at the altar of religious fanaticism. In fact, like you very correctly brought out, the only golden period of stability Bangladesh had was under Sheikh Hasina. She, of course, ruled with an iron hand, dealing very strictly with her opponents and going after the jihadis and going after the pro Pakistani elements, if I may say so. But then there was a strong undercurrent of opposition developing against her, which we in India should have noted, which we India should have advised Sheikh Hasina because we had our interest in her regime. We should have advised. We should have managed to somehow hold on to Bangladesh in under Sheikh Hasina. Now that we have a very, if I may say so, strongly anti-India government on board in Bangladesh, what options do we have? Because we have a security interest. We cannot afford to let Bangladesh burn. We cannot afford to have different factions carrying out mayhem in Bangladesh. We have our interest there. We have a cultural affinity with the people there. What are the options available to India now?
A very, very important question. What are the options available to India? You see, there is a military option and there is uh, a civilized option as well. Because you see, way back in 2013, uh, we had done a exchange of enclave with them. Exchange of enclave. Enclaves are something like this: a land jutting into your country, a land jutting into their country. So these were creating a lot of havoc, and India wanted to fence its boundaries. So, exchange of enclave is one of the ways why I'm saying exchange of enclave is important, is because you see there is a security threat pertaining to the Siliguri corridor, which is also called chicken neck. Now, there were certain statements which were very provocating made by the caretaker Mohammad Yunus when he visited China in March 26 to 28th of this year, in which he allegedly said that uh, the seven sisters of India, that is the seven northeastern states, are landlocked, and he's the guardian of the ocean. These states do not have any kind of access to the ocean. So, he being the guardian of the ocean, the Chinese can take advantage and carry out their economic activities in Bangladesh. So, as a matter of fact, it is a very, very sensitive issue. And this guy is an anarchist. Primarily, he has been parachuted into the nation, and he is not an elected member. He doesn't have to answer to anybody. So, this is a very irresponsible statement. But you can't write out that there is a threat. In 2017, uh, Chinese posturing in Doklam, their making of road up to Doklam, was a very loud statement. As a matter of fact, Doklam is a high ground, it's a plateau in which towards the east you have Bhutan, and towards the west you have got Sikkim. And if you see that land jutting into the area of West Bengal, it's very near to the Chicken Neck. So China is very desperate to get into Bay of Bengal. They have tried to make a CPEC, which has failed. They have tried to make CMEC, China Myanmar Economic Corridor, which is again in doldrums. So he has got an interest in China Bangladesh Economic Corridor. So the threat of China is very real. Now, 22 odd kilometers of chicken neck, India has to take care of that particular place. And especially when Yusuf is trying to accommodate the Chinese for Tista Barrage construction very near to the chicken neck by the Chinese, leasing Lal Munir Hat airbase to the Chinese. These are very, very aggressive postures towards security of India. So coming to the military means, there are a number of military experts who have expressed that that Rangpur uh, chicken neck of Bangladesh, that is 70 kilometers, can be taken over. Then the 20 kilometers chicken neck of Bangladesh south of Tripura can be taken over. As a matter of fact, reacting to the statements of Mohammad Yunus in China, the Chief Minister of Assam, Himanta Biswa Sharma, he said that India will sever their Rangpur chicken neck, and also Tripura Motha party chief also said that the chicken neck of Chittagong should be taken over. Militarily, if you speak, they are not very difficult targets that can be easily achieved. But there are certain other factors which India will have to see. You see, today is the second day of monsoon session in the parliament. And despite having such a successful uh, Operation Sindoor, there are a lot of questions being raised in the parliament. So just imagine that if you carry out an operation like taking Rangpur or Chittagong, it will create a lot of problems, not militarily, but diplomatically, strategically. Uh, Americans are always threatening over tariffs and sanctions. So this will be something where there will be a lot of threats of sanctions and tariffs, and economy of India, which is going up, will become a problem. And also, for any government in India to sustain such an operation politically would be very, very difficult.
But
So,
then India can't
what
just
have
stand by. India just can't stand by and see Hindus getting annihilated there, the minorities getting killed there, minority institutions being attacked and burned and looted and destroyed. And we can't see the. In fact, recently reports had emerged that the Ulfa independent, the group, the Myanmar-based group, the NSC and Khaflang, again the Myanmar-based group, and one more Northeastern Insurgent Group, the PLA, they had all congregated in Dhaka for a meeting where it was attended by the ISI representatives from Pakistan. That had the blessings of the Bangladeshi government, because without the direct blessings of the Bangladesh government, this couldn't have happened. India can't just stand by and see this kind of a scenario emerging in the backyard. In fact, the drone strikes which had happened in Myanmar was a corollary to the meeting which had happened in Dhaka. Uh, do you see a specific military game being played out, or may not be a direct invasion of Bangladesh, or may not be an attempt at carving out regions in Bangladesh, but some kind of a coercive action
yes, we
make
have carried
the
out
Bangladeshi
operation.
some kind of a coercive action to make the
We have
Bangladeshi
carried out
government see region.
We have carried out Operation Devil Strike. It was something to simulate that kind of action in Rangpur and all those things. But there are a number of constraints. Now, you see, I'll tell you some amount of history. Spain is the only country where they have done a reversal. Spain is the only country. How did they go about it? Around 711 AD, the Islamic forces started capturing the Iberia Peninsula, that is Spain and Portugal. And it was fought. What happened that northern side, the Christian countries or Christian nations started pushing the Islamists out. Only Grenada, the Emirate of Grenada, which is south of uh, what is the capital of Spain?
Madrid.
Uh, Madrid. South of Madrid, there's a place known as Granada. So that was the Emirate of Grenada was the last to fall, and then they systematically pushed them out. India has got a lot of problems. You see, a lot of illegal migrants have come in the state of West Bengal and rest of India. What baby steps our government is taking right now is pushing out the illegals. Even your fencing is not complete. Border fencing, around 485 kilometers in West Bengal, is yet to be over because of some coordination issue with the state government. Whenever you carry out a military operation, there will be a huge amount of influx of refugees. And influx of refugees under such circumstances, if not controlled, will create more law and order problems. Only thing, like if you see the Yazidis, the Kurds, and the Druze people in the Middle East, they all have picked up arms. They have all picked up arms to fight. The Kurds are spread in Turkey, in Iraq, Iran, Syria, all those places, and they are holding up. Unless and until the ethnic minority of Bangladesh stands for itself, uh, nobody can help them, not even India. It's an emotional issue. Okay, they will be killed. They have been reduced to 7.9. They will be wiped out. Like what has happened in Afghanistan, what has happened in Pakistan, it will happen in Bangladesh. So unless and until those guys uh, unite and protect themselves, they will be wiped off. Now, these people are very intelligent. The radical Islamists, what they do is they keep the temperature below the boiling point. Now, suppose if you are staying there in Bangladesh, say there are 64 districts in Bangladesh, out of which 61 districts have got Hinduism as the second largest religious minority, or second largest religious group, not minority, second largest religious group. So they are spread all over Dhaka region. Uh, there are nine administrative region, I believe. So Dhaka administrative region has got almost 27% Hindus, Rangpur 21%, Chittagong 21%, and Sylhet 21% or 20% rather, and other administrative regions. So they are all spread out. Now, the moment you do any kind of kinetic action, these people will be simply massacred. It is something like very easy. So, how can a responsible nation get some ethnic minority group eliminated just to ensure its own safety and security? So, these people, as there is a saying, uh, God helps those who help themselves. So, these people have to do it. Now, how they do it, whether it will be a kinetic action, whether this government, the central government in India, has the gumption or the guts to do that kind of risk taking, whether state government in West Bengal will be supportive, uh, whether the opposition will let this kind of thing happen, uh, and especially if the temperature is kept below the boiling point, the international community will never support you. There is a NATO chief, Mark Ruta, who says that if India and China buy Russian crude oil, we will sort them out. So, entire international community right now is witnessing rise of India. So, if you do a misstep, miscalculated military operation, it may be catastrophic. So, yes, there are other means wherein if the native population gets united and stands up, protests, protects itself, then there are chances. Otherwise, we can forget it that Bangladesh was ever part of India. There were some minorities there. They will be wiped out. It is just a question of time. Uh, about the security, yes, it is very, very important that you broaden chicken neck. Either you do a exchange of enclave, buy a certain area from Nepal, give them certain other place, you give them land, you negotiate if a favorable uh, government comes in Bangladesh, say like Sheikh Hasina was there, you can always say that, okay, give me these 100 kilometers so that we broaden our chicken neck and give them land in southern West Bengal or Shillong or some other place, compensate for that kind of a land.
Yeah, we are
It can
running
be
out
done.
of time. Yes, we are. We will leave Bangladesh as an open riddle. Something as of now doesn't seem to be a way out. We'd like to hear from our viewers your comments. Do write in and do give your suggestions. We'll of course have a keep on taking close look at Bangladesh. We'll have another program on this very soon. Thank you so much, Colonel Biss, for joining us, and thank you to all our viewers. Do like and subscribe our channel. It's been great connecting with you all.
Thank you and Jai Hind.